Coming to you live from Seward, Florida, the greatest little town in the world, it's the Get Up and Go Show on AM 1450 WU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
That's right, the 747 is ready to take off.
I know that's right.
That's right. It'll be a smooth sail all the way.
I heard that.
And we will never say
Goodbye.
And of course, my co-pilot is back in the co-pilot seat this morning after a battery change. Good morning, Miss Bonnie.
Good morning to you, Evan. Yes, we have our battery charged.
Yeah, you got your batteries recharged, huh?
Yeah, it feels good to have a brand new one in my newly used vehicle.
Yeah, that's right. You got the toy all recharged up, new batteries in the toy, so you're good to go.
Yeah, I went to that friendly place called O'Reilly yesterday.
Okay.
And
Little shameless plug there. That's okay.
But, I like them all. I like the fact that I wished they were all open at 6 in the morning, but all of them open by 7:30.
Okay.
And you find people there already, kind of having the same sort of problems and having to get their something for their vehicles,
Okay.
like a battery.
So what was the order of events that happened that led up to that 5:15 a.m. phone call that I got from you yesterday that totally sent me into a panic, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We got by with no issues yesterday.
Just went in.
Well, actually a little train wreck in the first hour, but that's okay.
No, I'm sure you guys handled it fine.
Yeah.
And, just went into a gas station, came out of the gas station, pumped my gas, got in my vehicle, and no charge.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Crickets, as they say.
It was pretty much crickets.
Crickets.
So,
Went
you're
to turn the key, nothing.
hanging there at 5:30 in the morning, and what do you do? It's time to get AAA,
You
I
call
gather.
Ghostbusters. That's what you do.
Yeah. And it's just making me want to get actually my pair of chargers, my jumper cables,
Mhm.
they just went to boot.
Where are they at?
They went to the cornfield. Gary threw them in the garbage because they were
Now, why would he do that?
they were all rusty and stuff they're wearing. So I have to get some new ones of
Okay.
those.
Okay.
The funny thing is the Roush 2, just 2 days ago, I lost charge in my battery there. So that wasn't starting either.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. You went to the automotive repair shop and you bought a battery. So why didn't you buy jumper cables while you were there?
I guess I'll just decide to do it later.
There you go.
Like look and shop for some.
There you go.
You know what I
They're all
want to
about the same price everywhere.
You know what I want to buy is like a car cover, and I want to buy some of those really fancy seat covers that they have. I want to get
a car cover.
I want to get the black for seat covers because
Okay.
I like a dark inside my vehicle
Okay.
as opposed to like a white cream inside my vehicle.
Okay. Nobody likes white cream inside their vehicle.
I like the black seat covers for some
Okay.
reason. They had
Okay.
the whole car cover exteriors too that you can, spread over your vehicle to keep the elements off and keep the elements away.
So you want to cover your car when you go home at night,
possibly.
correct? And then when you get up at 4:35 in the morning, you want to pull that cover off.
Yeah, or maybe like if the car's home during the day and the hot sunshine beating down, I already have that
Okay.
cover for the windshield and
Oh, you got the windshield fan that
keep-
goes in the windshield. Okay.
yeah, to keep the dashboard nice. I have Armor All, which I haven't used yet, but with kind of like riding a nice vehicle now, it makes me want to buy all of these products.
Well, you have that Armor All. You better use it before it goes bad. There's an expiration date on the bottle.
Is there?
Yeah, there should be. There's usually expiration dates on everything these days.
I didn't know there was on
Oh, yeah.
Armor All.
I mean,
Oh,
I have an
my.
expiration date on myself stamped on my left butt cheek. Yeah, it tells me when I'm going to expire. Just got to look around backside of me, and I look on the left butt cheek, and it tells me expires on, and that's it.
Wow, we don't want the meat to go bad.
No, we definitely don't want the meat to go bad. That's for sure. No, not at all. Not at all.
I'm all off with my dates too. I didn't realize like September 1st was already Monday. So I have hamburger meat in the fridge, Evan.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking,
Did it expire?
I'm thinking Labor Day. This coming Labor Day is 9/1, September 1.
No.
So I'm looking at it yesterday, and yeah, it nearly expired.
When did it? What's the expiration date on it?
9/2 on it.
9/2?
So I told Gary, I better wrap this up and put it in the freezer.
Well, now here's the thing. It's So did you put it in the freezer yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you got it in. You slid it in there within a day.
Wrapped it up there just in time.
Now it can stay in the freezer for years to come.
I guess.
Yeah, I have pork chops in my freezer that have expiration dates of like April and May that I bought way back when, and they're still in the freezer. We take them out, and
You still trust that too?
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll even go as far as when I got married the first time. I put the top tier of my wedding cake in the freezer and pulled it out a year later, defrosted it, cut a slice out, and it was fresh as the day that we had it.
I heard you can do that with the
Yeah.
wedding cake.
Yeah, you could do that with anything.
I've never tried it. I don't think I've ever.
Yeah, put yourself in
Proud
the
of-
freezer sometime. Try that, and then come out about a year later. You'll be fresh as can be.
Well, some things.
All you got to do is de-thaw. That's it.
Yeah, I'm not
Thaw
sure.
yourself out.
I'm not sure if I'm one of those that want to get into what's it called, cryptology, or I might have that wrong. Where
Cryo.
cryo,
It's called
yeah,
cryo. You ever been
cryo.
in a cryo booth? You
no.
should try it sometime. It's very invigorating.
Oh, I think I would get a little bit chilled, and
Well, that's the whole idea.
they'd have to give me a blanket.
Yeah. Well, no, you can't put a blanket in there. You just get in there butt naked.
Wow.
Yeah. It's very, very therapeutic.
It's supposed to release some of your toxins
Yeah.
and just kind of release you from
Yep.
feeling anxious, maybe.
Yeah, I'm going to have to call the local cryo place and have them bring one of those bad boys in here and set it up. They have a portable one. I'm going to have them bring
Wow.
it in here, set it up, and then I'm going to have you get in it, and we'll extend the boom of the microphone over,
Yeah.
and we'll have you broadcast from inside the cryo chamber. I can't do because I got to run the board here and
Yeah.
press all the buttons.
All I would say is shimmer me timbers.
There you go.
I'm getting ice cold just thinking about it.
Getting a little chilly there, huh?
Which isn't a bad thing to do because it's been so sot. That
Yeah.
Florida heat has been, oh my. We went to, just the other night, we went to pick up, we got some deep fried stromboli. Have you ever had
Ooh.
a deep fried stromboli before?
I've never had stromboli, period. What is stromboli?
It is like a calzone.
Okay.
It's like a calzone
Now,
with,
my
with
wife
the
is
pie.
my wife is the calzone queen.
Is she?
Loves, oh my gosh, she loves a cheese. She loves nothing more than a good cheese calzone with, she doesn't like the red sauce. She likes the
Oh.
white sauce, the Alfredo sauce.
Okay, I can
And
see
she will
that.
sit and she will eat a complete cheese calzone in one sitting.
Wow.
Yeah, she loves her cheese calzone. Come to think of it, I may just have to get her a cheese calzone for dinner tonight.
Oh,
I'm feeling a
nice.
cheese calzone tonight,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I got to find somewhere that'll deliver it.
Well, we got a cheap plug. We got ours from Big Apple.
Oh, they make good stuff.
Yeah. You know,
Mhm.
come to think of it, it wasn't a stromboli. It was a calzone. Now that
Okay.
you're talking, I get the two of them confused. But yeah, he deep fried a calzone for
No, I've
us.
never had a calzone deep fried before.
We were only able to get the medium or the small because that's the one that fit in his deep fryer.
Mhm.
First, he bakes it a little bit and then it goes in a deep fryer sort
Oh,
of thing.
Okay. Yeah, a calzone is nothing more than pizza dough folded over in half. Like you're
Yes.
making a pizza, you fold it over in half, and before you fold it over in half, you just stuff a bunch of cheese in it.
It's good.
That's all you do, and then you stick it in the oven and you bake it,
Yeah.
and then you're good to go.
And with the deep frying, Evan, we brought it home and it started to smell like the fair in our house.
Ooh.
The kitchen was smelling like
Would I need a ticket to get in your front door?
fair food.
Like I'm at the fair?
yeah.
Right? Do I need to be a certain height to come in like they do on the rides?
And I wouldn't have had any cotton candy ready. Really, I've always wanted one of those cotton candy makers too.
Oh, I can find you one. We can rent one for you and have it brought in here also.
That would be
See,
fun.
it's limitless. A good friend of mine,
Yeah.
Mark, who owns Liro's Lemonade, he does all the stuff at the stadium
Ooh.
over at Clover Park. He has cotton candy machines, lemonade machines, so I could just have him drop off a
Man.
what do you want? Cotton candy, lemonade? Tell me what you want. I'll have it dropped off
Cotton
here.
candy
You
and
want a
lemonade.
cotton candy? All right.
I like them
I'm gonna
both.
have him bring a cotton candy machine in here, and we're gonna fire that bad boy up. And at 6 a.m, you're gonna be sucking down cotton candy, and you'll be flying off the handle.
It does make you fly off the handle.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I had a kitty cat that loved cotton candy before.
Really? That cat was flying off the handle.
Little black kitty Coco. Every time I'd have cotton candy at home, I bring cotton candy home from the fair. I'll bring it home in bags, and I'll sit on the couch and eat it. And she just comes and she would lap that cotton candy up. It would be melted in her mouth, and before you know it, she's begging me for more.
Do you remember the first time you ever tried cotton candy? You put it in your mouth and it just like boom disappears.
Yeah,
and you're like, what the heck's going on? Where did the cotton candy go?
I know.
I'm like, wow. I remember my first time trying it. I was like, wait a minute. I grabbed this big glob of it and shoved it in my mouth.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it just disappeared. I'm like, what the heck happened? Where'd it go? And I put more in and more and more. And it just keeps disappearing.
We used to get that big pink spool of it at the fair. At the fair as a kid, they would make that spool so big and high, and it would remind me of Flo's head of hair from Alice.
Okay.
Remember Flo with her big bouffant red 3 triple bun hairdo going up in the air? It always reminded me of a big spool of cotton candy.
Now, I've never seen anybody with a triple bun before.
I mean,
that's very interesting.
She just had that hair going straight up, and it just seemed to go a mile high.
A triple bun. Wow. Okay. That seems like you need a concealed weapons permit to carry that hairdo or something like that. Hey, I want to wish a good friend of mine. I don't want to say his name on the air, but he's a fellow radio broadcaster down at the local station and does a morning show. And unfortunately, he got COVID. The morning show was exposed to COVID. So there were 2 of them that have COVID, and the rest of the morning show tested negative. So I want to wish my friend, the best of luck and a speedy recovery. He's asymptomatic. So they're still doing their morning show. He has no signs, no nothing.
Wow.
I found this out yesterday. They made the announcement on their morning show, but I don't want to say the name just because in case it is false or they're playing a gag. But if it is true, I want to wish him well.
I see that actor The Rock too, and his entire family got COVID. And according to The Rock, his kids kind of went through the process okay, but for The Rock and his wife, they had a harder time beating the virus. And he came out this morning and he just said, make sure to definitely wear your mask because this is not any fun.
Yeah, unfortunately, The Rock and his wife and his kid.
Yeah.
It's crazy who this can affect and all that other good stuff. In fact, let's listen to what The Rock has to say.
My wife Lauren, as well as my 2 baby girls and myself, we have all tested positive for COVID-19. And I can tell you that this has been one of the most challenging and difficult things we have ever had to endure as a family. Testing positive for COVID-19 is much different than overcoming nasty injuries or being evicted or even being broke, which I have been more than a few times. But I am happy to tell you guys that we as a family are good. We are on the other end of it. And we are no longer contagious, and we are, thank God, we are healthy.
And that's a good thing that they're very, very healthy. 6:20 on a Thursday morning. It's a Throwback Thursday. And we're going to do a little throwback a little bit later on this morning. We'll talk about that in a little bit. First, let's go to the news desk where Bonnie is standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. A frequently traveled roadway in the Treasure Coast's biggest community is set to undergo a major expansion beginning at the end of the month. WPTV's Derek Lowe has the story.
Along Floresta Drive in Port St. Lucie, drivers aren't just heading home.
Walk over whenever.
Many commuters are headed to evening activities with their families.
I'm watching my son. We're playing a little soccer. Oh, yeah.
Ryan Birch is just one of the growing number of drivers who travel along the 2-lane road set to undergo a major expansion starting at the end of the month.
As of right now, I think it's just going to be a little more congested with the construction going on, but definitely in the long run with all the development going on off Becker, it'll make it a little bit better.
Right now, I'm standing at the roundabout at the entrance of southbound Lake. City officials say that the expansion of Floresta Drive will stretch into St. Lucie West to Prima Vista Boulevard. At Wednesday night's open house meeting, renderings showed 2 added lanes, sidewalks, and bicycle paths. The goal is to keep the neighborhood intact while making it easier to get around. Officials say the project is being funded with revenue from a half-cent tax increase approved 2 years ago.
It's much quicker and a lot less traffic. I'm the type of guy that doesn't
make it a
mind
little bit
paying
better.
taxes.
Right now, I'm standing
as
at
long
the
as I see
roundabout.
results.
It's a change residents say they will welcome
Yeah, definitely make it safer.
once finished.
Everything that's happening out here out west, it needs to expand.
In Port St. Lucie, Derek Lowe, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Florida's latest coronavirus numbers include more than 2,500 new cases. 126 additional fatalities take the death toll past 11,500. The city of Fort Pierce, in partnership with Allied Health and St. Lucie County, is offering free COVID-19 tests by appointment. The swab testing will be provided to the public on Friday, September 4 and Saturday, September 5 from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. The driving-through testing site is located at Dreamland Park at 25th Street. Patients must schedule an appointment in advance, bring a valid driver's license or photo identification upon arrival, and shall remain in the vehicle until the swab test is complete. Now, to make your appointment, you can call 772-985-3445. For the first time since the start of the classes in Martin County, a school nurse is describing what it's like amidst the coronavirus pandemic. WPTV's Treasure Coast reporter Megan McRoberts has details.
Just more than 3 weeks into the school year in Martin County.
This is my 23rd school year.
School nurse Jennifer, fellow RNs and health assistants who are in every school are learning this year is all about being flexible.
As a nurse, we're kind of ready that are sick and contagious, but even for us working in public health, we're not usually, wearing masks and in, personal protective equipment either. So it's a change for all of us.
The Martin County School District has quarantined 425 students since the start of the school year. 84 are still waiting out their 14-day quarantine. Do you feel safe going to work?
Absolutely.
Despite the quarantine numbers, Bracken says the number of students she and other nurses see daily really hasn't changed much.
Our students more so are coming with the symptoms they always came with, headache, stomach ache, nausea, maybe, vomiting. Some of those things are due to anxiety and stress, but this year we have to look at them differently.
She's seeing on average 2 to 3 students each day with possible symptoms.
Some kids, have, a lot of fear about it at first because it can be scary to look at someone standing in front of you in the full blue PPE with their gloves and their mask and their shield. And so every day we learn something new. And so we learn, how to best approach them.
Her biggest message remains one directed to parents to continue monitoring their children's symptoms before sending them to school.
Even though in the past you might have been stricter and made them suffer through it.
Megan McRoberts, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Distance learning was not only a hot topic. In a meeting Wednesday, school board members also discussed how to finalize plans for the return of brick and mortar schools. WPTV's Todd Wilson with the story.
In the beginning, it was a little rocky.
School just started for Lysandra and Brandon Peaks' kids, and already they're dealing with distance learning issues.
Because Zoom had like a worldwide crash, so that was a little hard for the kids.
Lysandra says connections were so bad, students couldn't see their teachers. Emails were sent out to parents from the school's principal.
She let us know what was going on so that they wouldn't be counted out as absent.
Students weren't the only ones impacted. Ariel Alexis is a 5th grade teacher at Jerry Thomas Elementary.
The first day, kind of expected for not all the students to have logged on time and know exactly where to go. But it seems that as the days are going by, it's getting even more tough because a lot of students are having problems with their internet connection.
In my world, if there's a will, there's a way.
Distance learning is not the only hot topic. In a meeting Wednesday, school board members also discussed how to finalize plans for the return of brick and mortar schools.
I am the superintendent, and I ultimately bear the responsibility for all this. So I'm pulling the whole team together tomorrow. We're gonna get to the finish line.
One potential issue: just how many district employees may not be ready to return, along with the families who opt to remain in distance learning.
It could create a real problem for parents because their children have bonded and gotten to know a teacher, and all of a sudden they're going to get a stranger being their online teacher.
Back at the Peaks household, both agree they're dealing with a new normal.
It's very different, especially from the way we were brought up. I mean, you know, of course, being at school and getting your clothes ready for the first day.
In Palm Beach County, Todd Wilson, WPTV News Channel 5.
In the Major League Baseball action from last night, we had the Phillies over the Nationals 3-0. Tampa Bay Rays topped the New York Yankees 5-2 yesterday. Miami Marlins losing to the Blue Jays 2-1. The Reds over the St. Louis Cardinals 4-3. New York Mets win over Baltimore Orioles 9-4. The Rockies over San Francisco Giants 9-6. Also winning were the Cubs, the Atlanta Braves over the Red Sox, and Milwaukee wins yesterday. News time is 6:27. Weather and traffic together are next.
.27 the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, everything now out on the roads, Evan, just looking fantastic this morning. We're not seeing any kind of highway slowdowns, no accidents to report throughout Martin and St. Lucie counties. There's your latest look at traffic. We have 80 in Stewart, and here's our forecast from WPTV.
This morning along the Treasure Coast, temperatures starting off in the mid to upper 70s under partly cloudy skies and a few showers drifting in from off the ocean. Highs this afternoon reaching the low 90s. Feels like temperatures in the triple digits. We'll see a mix of and then a 20% chance for inland showers and storms. Tonight, lows in the upper 70s under mostly clear skies. Tomorrow, highs in the low 90s. Skies with low rain chances. We'll continue to see low rain chances through Saturday, and then a front stalls out across North Florida, helping to increase rain chances Sunday through Monday. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email, WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
And now today's episode of The Married Couple.
Walter, do you have some aversion to replacing the toilet paper roll?
No, not at all.
Well, how many times do you think you've done it since we've been married?
Well, I only replace it when it's out of paper.
But you always seem to leave 2 squares on it. Don't you think that would be a good time to replace it?
No, I think that would be wasteful.
Do you think you could do anything with 2 sheets?
I don't know. I'm done by then.
Ugh.
Join us next time for The Married Couple.
Oh, yeah, The Married Couple. Could you imagine if there was a syndicated program like that?
Yeah, and I think there probably should be, kind of like The Odd Couple, only call it The Married Couple, because you have Venus and Mars, which man and woman is. They're quite opposites, and she sounded a little bit upset because there was just a couple of plies left on that paper roll.
Just a tad bit. Let's do some viral videos this morning. Well, let's go to my sources where I always go. And this has been one of the top trending videos on TikTok lately. I love watching these videos on TikTok.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I don't care where TikTok originates from or who owns it. I just think it's hilarious.
It's fun sometimes.
There was a girl who was filming herself practicing a song for a class audition when her mom's leg popped through the ceiling. The mom was in the attic and lost her footing, and she wasn't hurt at all. But let's listen in.
Oh my God.
That was hilarious if you could see the video.
All of a sudden, she sees one leg come through the ceiling.
I got to play it again. Listen.
Oh my God. She's fine, by the way. What a woman, didn't even get a bruise. So the story is, I was practicing for my placement auditions for my classes, and she was up in the attic at the same time looking for luggage, and there are wooden beams where you're supposed to step, but she tripped over her super cute little silver flip-flops, and she fell through my ceiling, I got it on video. But she's fine, and I didn't know it was going to happen, and it scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
She slipped through the beams.
Yeah, she slipped through the beams. Now,
yeah.
You ever been up in your attic, Bonnie?
Yeah, I'm always afraid I'm going to lose my footing
right?
off the
and
beams.
just come crashing through on Gary's head.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you never know because between those beams, that feels a little bit too cushiony and a little too soft.
Yeah, just a tad bit. There's a woman in the Ukraine. She was on a Ukraine International Airline flight that had just landed, and she felt a little overheated. So you know what she does? She opens up the emergency door, and she walks out on the wing of the plane.
This woman's a little nuts.
And just sits there. And then she goes back in the door and shuts the door. So the airline blacklisted her. She can't ever fly that airline again.
Well, no doubt.
Or probably any other airline.
A little bit crazy. Could you imagine she's out on that wing, Evan, and the plane starts to move a little bit and somebody shuts that emergency door on her?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty incredible.
I've heard people going out on a limb for people, but going out on a wing, that's just a little too much.
I wonder if she had family in there that cared about her to kind of pull her back inside.
Somebody probably said push, and they said how hard. There's body cam footage of several Miami police officers rescuing a man dangling from the side of an overpass. You hear them repeatedly say, "Don't do it," until they can get close enough to grab his arms and pull the guy to safety. Let's listen.
Relax, man. Relax. Relax. Don't do it. Don't do it. I got him.
There were also
Now, I watched several angles of that that incident just this morning early because there were body cam video footage from 4 different Miami-Dade law enforcement officers. Guy wanted to commit suicide, and they saved the guy. He was hanging over the overpass. Traffic came to a dead stop on the interstate below.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the angle I saw it from was the angle where it's shooting at him down below, and he's holding on to the concrete by his hands, and people are coming to rescue him.
yeah, it's I give the Miami-Dade props. Saved the guy's life. Unfortunately, the guy has some mental health issues, so I'm sure they'll get the guy some help that he needs, and he'll get on the road to speedy recovery. There's, mental health is a very serious thing. If you need help, seek somebody, say something to somebody, make a phone call, talk to somebody, because things can't be that bad that you want to, kill yourself and just end your life.
Yeah, just kind of like reach out and touch someone.
Yeah, reach out and touch someone. There's a song that goes by that also. So listen to the song, listen to the lyrics, and reach out and give somebody a call. There's the suicide prevention hotline, so make sure and utilize that one as well.
I saw a video too this morning, Evan.
Did you?
It's David Blaine, the illusionist.
I love that guy. He's amazing.
Wow. His latest stunt was he's seen above the Arizona desert holding on to only helium balloons.
Really?
So he's flying through the desert, and you see all these beautiful, colorful helium balloons
Wow.
right above him.
That's amazing.
And then,
David Blaine does some wicked stuff. That's all I got to say.
yeah, he's wicked.
Hey, did you ever watch that episode of Schitt's Creek, by the way?
I didn't yet, and
Okay.
I've been meaning to watch it.
Yeah.
Just-
Once you watch it, you'll get hooked.
We've been hooked on, oh good gosh, Unsolved Mysteries still. There's some like really good mysteries on there. And I think some of my favorite ones are like when they show people back from war days.
Okay.
And, soldiers coming together with soldiers again that
Right.
they saw on the battlefield years ago.
Right.
They're heroes, and they have all these mix of just terrific stories that just kind of, they warm your heart. We watched one the other night of a young boy in Germany who was like alone in a cabin with his mother. It was during World War II, and his father was off serving in the war. Christmas night, the dad wasn't coming back yet. It's Christmas Eve, and who shows up at her door but a few American soldiers? So this German woman doesn't speak English, but they were able to communicate, and she invites them in to eat. And then just like a half hour later, you know who else shows up at her doorstep, Evan?
No, tell me.
5 German soldiers.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, very interesting.
So the lady said, you're going to come in. We're going to have a bite to eat. It's Christmas Eve. We're going to have peace here. There's going to be no fighting. So American soldiers sat down that night with the German soldiers at her table with her little boy, and they had a peaceful Christmas. And one of the German soldiers even helped the American soldier that had been wounded and had some supplies with them and helped them out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this little boy that was in the German household, they interviewed him, and he had been all grown up by now, telling this true story about how all the soldiers came, and his mother really brought everybody together that Christmas Eve night.
Oh, wow.
They have like these touching, heartwarming stories like that you just go, oh. And then usually it's late at night when we're watching it, and I'm like, on that note, Gary, I'm going to go to bed and end with a very good story.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's just like a real good feel good,
Very, very, very good. I like that.
And I like that Robert Stack.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do. I mean, it's just kind of like we've been kind of binge watching, just getting kind of addicted to that show right now.
Okay. Did you know, Bonnie, 60% of cat owners have argued with their cat? So this is something that I wanted to ask you. Have you ever argued with the cat?
argued. I've yelled at a cat before, like I shake my finger at a cat. I don't know if you can consider that arguing.
Well, do you verbalize?
Verbally, sure. Sure. Use your litter box. Don't go there. Get out of Gary's closet.
Now, does the cat hang out in Gary's closet?
If he could, he would. But, we make sure to keep that door closed.
Oh.
Gary likes his closet very clean. So we have to, abide by his rules and keep it that way.
All right.
Which is fine.
Okay. So Gary doesn't like a lot of crap in his closet.
No, no, he doesn't.
Okay.
And me, I just need like a bigger closet. I mean, I have shoes galore, all these clothes, some memorabilia, just like things here and there. And yeah, and in fact, I got to go home and clean mine.
Do you really?
Yeah.
So are you going to be in there like all year?
Could
cleaning?
be. I could be.
Are we going to need to send a search and rescue crew for you?
No.
By any chance?
No, I will take time out and go to the beach because I heard that the beaches are going to be open this Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
So that's like I think for both St. Lucie and Martin County, we're going to have our area beaches open. So they're not going to be closed.
Well, that's what Taryn said.
Yeah. She said that. She stated that yesterday.
Well, yeah. She said that the beaches are going to be open.
Good.
So everything will be good. So you'll be all good to go.
Yep.
And
that's true.
That's about it. You're all locked and loaded. So which beach are you going to go to? That's what I want to know.
I liked the Stewart Beach right across the causeway there. It's called like Turtle Egg Beach, Turtle Nest Beach.
Turtle Nest Beach.
Yeah. It's just like you go across the causeway and you go around just a little roundabout and boom, it's right there.
And you're all good to go.
You're all good to go. Yep.
Plenty
of parking too.
All right. Did you know that 1 in 3 wives wish their husbands would hold hands more? 1 in 3 wives.
Yeah. I'm fortunate that way. I have a guy in my life that Gary is like more than apt to hold my hand, whether we're out in public or at home. And I have no qualms about that.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you hold Rachel's hand quite often?
She's more the type of person that will grab my hand before I grab hers.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's just she's a hand holder. She
good.
likes holding hands.
Yeah.
Which I don't have a problem with. I don't mind holding hands.
We even hold hands at home when we're watching TV together, TV with one another. We're very close, and I'm very fortunate to have him.
Well, I would hope you're fortunate enough to have him.
Yeah. But it's good. It's good.
So what else was I going to say? Oh, so you got your car battery yesterday, and now there's no more problems, hopefully.
Yeah, that's all I can hope for. No, the car is running like a charm. It's like brand new. So there should be no more problems completely. I was almost afraid that it was that dang alternator, and then I would have been like, whoo, this is some real insanity.
That would have not been a good thing.
Yeah.
That definitely would have not been a good thing.
You watch Dancing with the Stars, Evan?
I do. They announced their cast recently.
They did.
Tell me about it.
AJ McLean from the Backstreet Boys is going to be in there. I think he's going to be like my prediction to win because
you think it's going to be him.
All of those boy bands, really. There was a guy that won. It was either the first or second Dancing of the Stars with Cheryl Burke, and he had been. He was the brother of the guy I think that was married to Jessica Simpson and who was also in a boy band.
Okay.
And these boy bands say that's what they do. They get trained to go on stage and dance those long performances.
Okay.
And some of them I think have to train like 4 to 8 hours a day to get them going. So I think AJ is going to be who I'm going to predict. Also, actor Jesse Metcalf from Desperate Housewives will be dancing.
Wow, very nice.
We learned, too, yesterday that Carol Baskin from Tiger King is also going to be on the stage. They came out with odds of people winning, and number one had been AJ McLean, and I think she's kind of like with the odds, she is, they're kind of saying she's going to be sort of voted off the stage first by people.
Oh, okay.
Actress Anne Heche also is going to be dancing. I don't know. She was a pretty good actress in her day. So I haven't seen her in movies in a while, but Anne Heche, I'm kind of surprised to see her dancing. Cheerleading coach Monica Aldema from Cheer
Okay.
is also going to be on there. I think they always have one NBA or NFL star. Oh yeah, former NBA player Charles Oakley will be dancing on the season.
Charles
as well.
Oakley or Barkley?
Oakley, this one is.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, okay.
I thought Charles Barkley right away when I had seen it, but this is saying Charles Oakley. And I always like to watch that first episode, maybe the first 1 or 2 episodes when they're new to it and they come out and do
They
the
have a new
dance.
host this year too.
They do, don't they?
Yeah, it's that model girl.
Is it the
I can't think of her name off the top of my head.
Interesting.
She's that pretty girl. Tall, slender,
Okay.
pretty girl. She hosted AGT 1 or 2 years as well, I think. I'm pretty sure.
And
I think.
Tom Burgin is his name.
Bergeron.
Yeah, he's not coming back.
No, he's not coming
I'm gonna
back.
miss him on there.
Yeah, definitely so. 6:47. It's time for news. Let's go to the news desk. Bonnie standing by. Take it away, Bonnie.
Thank you, Evan. As the coronavirus pandemic continues, Florida is launching an in-state ad campaign to revive the devastated tourism industry. Governor Ron DeSantis was in Daytona Beach for the announcement with officials of Visit Florida.
We've got a lot of folks out there that have been hurting. We've got a lot of people that kind of had their livelihoods taken away when our tourism industry collapsed at the end of March. And so I'm excited to be here. I think this is well thought out.
$13 million will be spent between now and December on broadcast, streaming, social media, and billboards to encourage Floridians to visit parts of the state they haven't seen before. A frequently traveled roadway in the Treasure Coast's biggest community is set to undergo a major expansion beginning at the end of the month. WPTV's Derek Lowe has the story.
Along Floresta Drive in Port St. Lucie, drivers aren't just heading home.
Walk over whenever.
Many commuters are headed to evening activities with their families.
I'm watching my playing a little soccer. Oh yeah.
Ryan Birch is just one of the growing number of drivers who travel along the 2-lane road set to undergo a major expansion starting at the end of the month.
As of right now, I think it's just going to be a little more construction going on, but definitely in the long run with all the development going on off Becker, it'll make it a little bit better.
Right now, I'm standing at the roundabout at the entrance of Southbound Lake. City officials say that the expansion of Floresta Drive will stretch into St. Lucie West Boulevard. At Wednesday night's open house meeting, renderings showed 2 added lanes, sidewalks, and bicycle paths. The goal is to keep the neighborhood intact while making it easier to get around. Officials say the project is being funded with revenue from a half-cent tax increase approved 2 years ago.
It's much quicker and a lot less traffic. I'm the type of guy that doesn't mind paying taxes as long as I see results.
It's a change residents say they will welcome.
Yeah, definitely make it safer.
Once finished.
Everything that's happening out here out west, it needs to expand.
In Port St. Lucie, Derek Lowe, WPTV, News Channel 5.
The city of Fort Pierce, in partnership with Allied Health and St. Lucie County, is offering free COVID-19 tests by appointment. The swab testing will be provided to the public on Friday, September 4. Also on this Saturday from 9 to 6 p.m., the drive-through testing site located at Dreamland Park at 301 South 25th Street. And patients must schedule an appointment in advance. Bring your valid driver's license or photo ID upon arrival. And test results will be available within 72 hours, excluding the holiday. To make your appointment, call 772-985-3445. And lastly, Governor Ron DeSantis is naming the ongoing Florida House Republican leader as the new director of the state's Department of Economic Opportunity. Dane Eagle will replace Ken Lawson, who resigned on Monday. DeSantis shelved Lawson earlier this year when the DEO was unable to handle the surge of unemployment claims due to coronavirus. Hall of Fame New York Mets pitcher Tom Seaver died on Monday, and the coronavirus was one of the contributing factors. He also had Lewy body dementia. Tom was 75 years old. News Time 6:51. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
6:52 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. It's all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, we're accident, so the roads are just clear as you're heading out on a Thursday morning. Expect a nice ride, including major highways. There's your latest look at traffic. In Stewart, we have a partly cloudy sky. It's 80. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning along the Treasure Coast, temperatures starting off in the mid to upper 70s under partly cloudy skies and a few showers drifting in from off the ocean. Highs this afternoon reaching the low 90s. Feels like temperatures in the triple digits. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds and then a 20% chance for inland showers and storms. Tonight, lows in the upper 70s under mostly clear skies. Tomorrow, highs in the low 90s, partly sunny skies with low rain chances. We'll continue to see low rain chances through Saturday, and then a front stalls out across North Florida, helping to increase rain chances Sunday through Monday. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
I'm too sexy for this mask. You know why I wear this mask, so you don't have to ask. I'm too sexy for my mask. I have to wear a mask or my life might be trashed. I have paisleys printed on my mask, and my protection's the talk of the town now. They're all jealous of my flu mask. It's a fashionable mask protecting. I'm too sexy to get ill. Too sexy to get ill. My filtered air gives them thrills. I'm too sexy for the flu.
You know, I wonder if anybody has that kind of an attitude. They're too sexy to wear a mask. Bonnie, are you?
I don't right now, but I could just imagine back to my younger days in my teens and maybe early 20s.
Yeah.
Where my maturity level was where I might be thinking that way.
Really?
Yeah.
So you would think back in the day that you're too sexy to wear a flippin' mask.
Yeah, in all honesty, because
Okay.
you know when you're going out and you're single and you want to look your best, you do your hair up right and
Mhm.
your makeup's looking perfect, and you know at that age you're like, oh, why bother? This is all going to be covered by a mask.
Wow.
So in all honesty,
I would have never thought you would have answered that way.
in all honesty, back to my earlier self, yeah, I probably would have been in that spirit in
So
my
you were
in my
a
youth.
mischief little one, huh?
I don't know
Wow.
if you would say that, but I guess it's just
Or let
like,
me rephrase that. You were a sassy little one back in the day.
yes, short and sassy.
Wow.
I guess it's just your maturity level.
You had that sass.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wow. I never would have imagined that from you, that you would have sass.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just like you know, girls that age. When you're that age, the hair has to be perfect. You spend
Okay.
like maybe an hour or an hour and a half in front of the mirror, and
Oh my.
yeah, I was privy to that too.
Okay.
Yeah. Now my timeage is maybe cut in half of that, or sometime like maybe 20 minutes to a half hour, if that.
All right. We're WSTU Stewart. We're Martin County's Heritage Station. The news is coming up next. And then Joe Catcherbone's going to be here at 7:30 from the Stuart Martin Chamber of Commerce.
Coming to you live. The greatest little town in the world. It's the Get Up and Go show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
You know, I always wonder why they say broadcasting live.
I know that's right.
That's what are we, broadcasting dead?
I heard that.
Nah, we are never going to say because we are fully live.
I know that's right.
That's right. Good morning, Miss Bonnie.
Good morning to you, Evan. And thanks, everybody, for being cheerful and waking up with us right here.
Always cheerful, always waking up, because if you don't wake up, then you're in deep doo-doo, as they say.
Or we might be envying you because you're sleeping away the morning hours without a care in the world. And you're in that nice, deep dream state.
Yeah, definitely so.
Sometime at this hour, I envy that. Wouldn't mind being there.
I wonder who's calling us this morning.
Oh, my goodness.
We have a phone call already. Let's see who it is. Hi, you're on the air with Evan and Bonnie. Who's this?
Good morning, sir.
Oh, it's Bentley. Good morning, Bentley. How are you?
Doing well, sir. Good morning, Madam Bonnie.
Good morning, Bentley.
Oh, we've graduated from Miss Bonnie to Madam Bonnie.
Is that like Madam Secretary or
Yeah.
something?
Okay.
Well, we heard yesterday that you were the almighty goddess of radio.
Oh,
So-
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, Phil talked about you on the air yesterday. He called you the goddess of radio.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay on the air, but I wouldn't consider myself a goddess of anything.
Well, I don't know if you heard the conversation we heard Bentley about 10 minutes ago. In her prior life, when she was younger, she was a wild child.
Oh, really? Well, see, I don't know anything about that. I like things plain, sir.
Yeah, like your toast.
Exactly, sir.
Plain toast.
Wasn't
Oatmeal, no flavoring, just plain oatmeal.
I think Bentley was going to bring us something this morning, maybe lemonade or lemonade. And what were we also going to have served up? We were
I don't know.
ordered a little something.
What would you like for breakfast this morning? I was going to stop by Dunkin' Donuts to get you some donuts.
Nice, Bonnie.
Yeah.
Right? Some donuts would be nice.
I could go
chocolate frosted and Boston cream, if I remember correctly.
Oh.
You're right.
Wow.
He's spot on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which do you like? Do you like the chocolate frosted or the Boston cream?
The Boston cream.
Do you like when it oozes out, don't you?
Yeah. And
You bite into it and it just oozes right out.
And the donut too, sir.
yeah.
Yes.
I like
yes.
the whipped cream, the regular white whipped cream in that
Ew.
Boston cream.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Sometimes they have the vanilla pudding inside there too.
Okay.
And I mean, and I like them both. I mean, I would care to eat both of them right
Okay.
now.
So, Bentley, are you saying you're going to bring us donuts this morning?
I will be bringing you donuts this morning.
Can we get an estimated time of arrival, please?
Well, I am on I-95 now, and I should be there fairly soon. I have to stop by to get the donuts and then bring it to you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we thank you for that.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do that. You
Very
weren't
nice.
due in today for work, because I know you have the family that you take care of locally over at Sewell's Point. That,
Well, I'm off today, and Lakeisha is at home sleeping, so I thought I'd come over and help you.
Oh, okay.
See, Lakeisha's sleeping
Wow.
away these morning
So
hours.
are you dating Lakeisha? Is that the rumor that's out there, Bentley?
Things are happening, sir.
Oh, okay. What kind of things?
Yeah.
I'm afraid to ask.
Ooh.
Well, I'm getting along better with Big Kitty now.
Okay.
And
All right.
She likes me a little bit better after I got her out of that gun closet that she was afraid to lock her in by accident at that time. That was funny.
Okay, but the thing is, what does Big Kitty have to do with Lakeisha? That's what I don't understand. Are you
Oh, you
comparing?
were talking
Are you
about
comparing? Are you comparing? Yeah, we're talking about Lakeisha.
Oh,
Yes.
we're just seeing each other, sir.
Oh, you're talking, as the kids call it these days.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll see you in a little bit with our donuts, because I'm hungry this morning. I'm a bit of a bear this morning.
Yeah, we could go for something sweet too. I mean,
Yeah,
I have
nothing different from any other day, sir.
Okay. Well, Gary's home, by the way, if you're looking for something sweet.
yeah.
Okay.
He's full of sweetness.
Yes, there
That's
you
for
go.
sure.
There you go. All right, Bentley, we'll see you in a little bit.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much. Time for birthdays and anniversaries. For this September 3rd, 2020, Bonnie, what do you have for me this morning?
Yeah, my nephew Brad, his birthday has arrived on this September 3. So I want to say happy birthday to Brad, my
How
nephew.
old is Brad?
Up north. He turns 36 today.
Does he have a phone number?
He does. However, it's only like 6:10 there, and
I don't care.
I want him to get his beauty sleep
I don't
before
care.
on his
You know
way
me.
to work.
You know me. I'm very straightforward. I'll
Yeah.
call somebody.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't want to bother him right now.
You don't want to tick him off.
I don't. I really don't. And I know he has a little one too, and I just kind of like want his birthday morning to get started off right, which is it's a Thursday, being he's probably going to be going to work in a little while.
Okay.
So I let him sleep.
All right. If you have anybody that's celebrating a birthday, you can call us right now. Now's your opportunity to wish them a happy birthday. Or if their birthday is past, you can call and wish them a happy birthday. We'll open the phones up every morning for this segment. Well, the phones are always open, so it really doesn't matter. I want to wish my brother-in-law, Mike Watts, a happy birthday. I don't know how old he is, but he's celebrating a birthday.
That is Rachel's brother then?
Well, I would hope so.
Okay.
If I'm married to Rachel and it's my brother-in-law, I would hope that's because if it's not her brother, I'm in deep crap or I'm married to somebody else.
Does he live down here? Are you guys close?
No, he lives up north. He lives in Tennessee.
Okay.
Very close to my father-in-law.
Yeah, I was
Mike
gonna
lives up
say.
there with his wife and their handsome little boy.
Yeah.
Mike is 44 years old today. I had a brain fart. I had to think for a minute how old he was.
Okay, so happy birthday to Mike Watts and
Yeah.
the beautiful mountains of Tennessee.
Yes, he's in Johnson City, Tennessee, celebrating his birthday. I was going to call him live on the radio, but I got a very stern warning from my wife. Don't you dare call him. You might be sleeping.
Yeah.
So when the wife speaks, you listen.
Yeah, it's that time of the morning too, Evan, where you just can't be calling anybody and everybody. Even when I was stranded with my vehicle yesterday and the battery out, it's just like,
You called me at 5:15.
who do you call? Well, I have to call here first and
Yeah.
foremost, and of course Gary first and foremost.
Yeah.
Because he would like tune in and listen and say, "Where in the heck is she?" Because he tunes into us every morning
Yeah,
when he
she'd think
can.
that he'd probably think you were kidnapped or something.
Yeah, but even to think of anybody like with jumper cables who's up at that hour of the
Well,
morning.
you know what I would have told Gary if he would have called here and wondered where you were?
Yeah.
I would have told him a white lie. I wouldn't have told him your battery died. I would have told him that I sent you on assignment to Blind Creek Beach to broadcast live from there.
Oh, you know what? The folks at Blind Creek Beach are going to hear a huge siren later on today.
Are they really? What
Yeah.
is it? The no clothes siren? They're going to sound that for people to take their clothes off if they don't have their clothes off already.
Yeah, the power plant is going to have a siren alert, a test siren that's
Oh,
going to
okay.
go off usually that goes off about noon or 1 o'clock.
That must be interesting working at the power plant and you drive by Blind Creek Beach. Those are some sights. That's some sightseeing to see.
I guess I've never been there before, but I guess it's very close to the power plant.
It's
yes.
extremely very close.
Yeah.
I will tell you that much.
I would be like thinking, oh, if my spouse was working there, I'd be like looking at what time he got home and
Working at Blind Creek Beach?
accusing him of going to Blind Creek Beach on the way home.
Jeez. Well, how do you know he doesn't want to partake in Blind Creek Beach? Have you ever asked Gary if he'd go?
I know. I don't know. I don't know, like if he would or not.
Well,
there was a place.
I'm curious now. Now you
Yeah.
have my curiosity up.
Yeah,
Now
I
you
don't,
have my
I
curiosity.
don't know if he'd want to go there or not. I'm really not sure.
What would you do if he did?
Put on a lot of sunscreen,
You would?
and he would too.
Okay.
I make sure the family wears plenty of that when we
Okay.
go out to the beach.
If Rachel were to approach me and if she were to say to me, Evan, I want to be a little bold. I want to go to Blind Creek Beach and check it out one day. Would you go with me? I couldn't get in the car fast enough.
Really?
Yeah, I would go.
Now, would she be one who would want to go?
No, well,
and
obviously, if she's asking me to go,
Kind
then
of.
obviously she wants to go.
Yeah.
But
Seriously, would she want to do that sort of thing?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, but I'm just saying, just as a conversation. If she were to ever to say to me, I'm being a little bold. I want to go try, go check out Blind Creek Beach. Would you go with me?
Yeah.
And I would be like, sure, I'll go and support you. Just like with the first day I went to church,
Okay.
I surprised her and went the second week.
Yeah.
So if Gary were to say to you, okay, just this is general conversation now. If Gary were to say to you, Bonnie, as I'm getting older, I just I want to live life to the fullest, and I want to go see what Blind Creek Beach is all about. Would you go with me?
I might go.
What would your answer be?
I might go with him, but I'm not gonna, I'm gonna dress up. I'm not.
Well, you can't wear a gown, for God's sakes.
I mean,
You can't get dressed up. You have to go naked.
I would, I don't know. I would just feel.
That's the rules.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't want to go.
So you wouldn't go. You would Gary would have to go by himself.
I would feel a little exposed.
Okay, well, of course
Yeah.
you would. You'd be naked. A little. You'd be a lot exposed, for God's sakes. Everybody would see everything.
Plus, I would have to waste more sunscreen and probably put that over more of my body.
Yeah, over the hoo-has. Over the hoo-has, as they call.
Over the mountains.
Mount Bonnie. There we go. Okay.
Well,
Anyway, now you just gave all our listeners a visual of what you look like from the neck down. There you go.
golly, Miss Molly.
All right. Good golly, Miss Molly. Let's get to birthdays and anniversaries. Rita Volk is 30 years old today. Not so fake lesbian Amy on MTV's Faking It. OMI. Ami is 34. That's cheerleader singer. Real name is Omar Paisley. Sean White is 34 years old. That's the Olympic snowboarder. Garrett Hedlund, 36 years old. Jenny Finch is 40. That's the Olympic softball pitcher. Let's go to the phones real quick. We have a phone call. Hi, you're on the air with Evan and Bonnie. Who's this? I guess they didn't want to talk.
Oh, I guess not.
Maybe it was the person that runs Blind Creek Beach. Who knows?
No.
They heard us talking. Let me see here. Nick Weschler, 42 years old today. That's Jack Porter on ABC's Revenge. Let's try the phone one more time. Hi, you're on the air with Evan and Bonnie. Who's this? Oh, wow. Look who it is.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Hey,
Fredo.
Bobby, I'm glad you brought it up because I have a new service for Blind Creek Beach.
Oh, here we go, Fredo. All right,
Yeah.
Fredo, what's the new service?
Fredo's Suntan Lotion Applying Mobile Center. Yeah, man.
Fredo's, wait, let me get this right. Fredo's suntan lotion applying service.
Yeah, that's it right there. You got it.
Let me guess. You will apply suntan lotion to people at Blind Creek Beach.
That's right.
And what is your fee?
Oh, it depends on the lady. If it's a bigger lady, then it's more suntan lotion, so it costs more.
That's just not right.
Okay. Well, it's no, he's got a point because he has to use more product.
Yeah.
All right. What if it's
Bonnie would get it for free because she knows the system. She knows me, so I would just say, "Hey, baby, I'll apply that."
Okay. All right.
Oh.
And what about a smaller lady? Since you mentioned a larger lady.
Then it's less money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a little bit lesser money.
So it's either the 1 ounce bottle or the 5 ounce bottle, right?
That's it, right there.
Is there any in between?
No.
Okay.
No.
Very straightforward. No in between.
Well, you better buy the bonus size just to make sure you have enough.
Yeah, really.
You don't want
Oh,
to.
I got tons of it already, Bonnie. That's
Okay.
it. Yeah.
All right. Well, how many more businesses are you going to be opening up, Fredo? My gosh.
I don't know. I'm a money making man. I want to make the money.
I know you
come
do.
up with all these great ideas.
Okay.
And I go out there and I make the money.
Have you incorporated any of your businesses, or are you a sole proprietor or an LLC? What are you?
With this incorporated stuff, I don't know what you're talking about. On that.
Okay. Oh, what is it? Cash and carry?
Partly, yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
don't let the
man.
IRS
And
find
then,
out.
like I said, I've been the spokesperson now and all sorts of stuff thanks to your show. So it's like, yeah, man, I'm making some money.
Wait a minute. Who are you a spokesperson for?
You played the commercial the other day, Medallion Man.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Yes.
right.
Okay. That's right. Medallion Man.
Yeah, Medallion Man.
Oh,
You got
okay.
all your medallion needs for masculinity.
Okay, Fredo.
That reminds me of Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch. Didn't he wear
Oh,
the
Huggy Bear was awesome.
golden
Huggy Bear.
Okay.
shiny
Okay.
medallion?
All right. All right. So where are you off to today?
Well, I am actually going to go put together the mobile rub trailer for today. I got some appointments. I'm meeting some lady out in a field, buy some trees? That's what she told me off of Kenner Highway. Yeah, man.
Wait a minute. You're going to go meet some woman off Canner Highway in a park underneath a tree?
No, I didn't say a park. I said a field.
You're meeting a woman in a field off Canner Highway to do a massage.
He's going to meet a cougar and see a cougar walking through the field.
Oh, my. Okay.
Yeah,
do you use it? I hope you use a massage table.
Well, no, I got the foot massage, the mobile rub.
Oh. So you have your little stool that you sit on.
Wow.
Yeah, and she sits in the nice little chair, vibrates and everything else. And then,
Okay.
and then I massage her feet, and then I hum her favorite song.
You hum her favorite song. Okay.
That's it.
And are there any songs that you remember that are do you remember any favorable songs
Well,
that you remember?
I don't want to hum a song because I don't want to get you in trouble because of ASCAP and BMI.
No, you could hum a song.
Yeah.
How about
something like Precious and Few?
No.
Are
Precious
the moments.
and Few. That whippy song. What are you talking about? Precious and Few.
How about I'm Too Sexy for My Shirt? How about that one? Can you hum that one?
I mean, I would feel like I'm in the middle of a bad dream or something.
Boy, and I thought yesterday's show was a train wreck. Oh my gosh, today's
Wow.
even worse. God,
I was there and I had to massage Evan's shoulders. He was all stressed out.
Oh.
Yeah, yesterday was first hour was a little bit of a train wreck.
Very
but that's
lovely,
beside the
though.
point. All right,
but then
Fredo.
after that, it seemed like it was pretty cool, because then Bentley brought in donuts.
Wow.
Yeah, man, he's been a donut making machine lately. I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on.
Yeah, he's
But,
bringing us some donuts this morning, as a matter of fact.
We'll be smelling them pretty soon when he arrives.
All right, Fredo, we got to run. We got to do news, and we're already late for the news, thanks to you.
All
But
right.
that's besides the point. So listen, be good and tell a Big Kitty we said hello.
Yeah.
You got it.
All right, take care. Bye bye.
All right, bye.
7:24 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for news. Here's Bonnie.
Thank you, Evan. For the first time since the start of classes in Martin County, a school nurse is describing what it's like amidst the coronavirus pandemic. WPTV's Treasure Coast reporter Megan McRoberts has details.
Just more than 3 weeks into the school year in Martin County.
This is my 23rd school year.
School nurse Jennifer Bracken says she and fellow RNs and health assistants who are in every school are learning this year is all about being flexible.
As a nurse, we're kind of ready to be around people that are sick and contagious. But even for us working in public health, we're not usually, wearing masks and in, personal protective equipment either. So it's a change for all of us.
The Martin County School District has quarantined 425 students since the start of the school year. 84 are still waiting out their 14-day quarantine. Do you feel safe going to work?
Absolutely.
Despite the quarantine numbers, Bracken says the number of students she and other nurses see daily really hasn't changed much.
Our students more so are coming with the symptoms they always came with, headache, stomach ache, nausea, maybe, vomiting. Some of those things are due to anxiety and stress, but this year we have to look at them differently.
She's seeing on average 2 to 3 students each day with possible symptoms.
Some kids, have, a lot of fear about it at first because it can be scary to look at someone standing in front of you in the full blue PPE with their gloves and their mask and their shield. And so every day we learn something new. And so we learn, how to best approach them.
Her biggest message remains one directed to parents to continue monitoring their children's symptoms before sending them to school.
Even though in the past you might have been stricter and made them suffer through it.
Megan McRoberts, WPTV News Channel 5.
COVID-19 is more dangerous and deadly to the state's minorities, according to a new report from a Florida state researcher. WPTV's Forrest Saunders has the story.
These days, it's hard for Conrad Laverty to hold back the tears.
So I don't know what to do at this point.
The pandemic cost this father of two his job making custom T-shirts, and it's been difficult to find another with no car and a criminal record.
I'm trying to do good for my kids. I don't want them to go through what I went through in my life at all. They're 2 little girls, man.
For now, money is tight, utilities shut off, and eviction a possibility, not to mention the constant fear he or his daughters will get sick.
It's like I'm living a horror movie right now, man.
Conrad identifies as Latino, and the hurdles he faces aren't much different from other minorities struggling. A tight income, limited or no health insurance, and other socioeconomic challenges often leading to a lower quality of life and care.
inequalities in our major areas of our society. So in education, in employment, in criminal justice.
Florida State professor Patricia Homan co-authored a national study looking at how these factors impact COVID-19 outcomes. She found what she feared: the virus is more deadly among Black and Latino populations, especially older generations. Her findings, garnered from CDC and Bureau of Labor data, show COVID death rates for Latinos 65 and up are twice as high as whites and about 3 times as high for Blacks.
These social inequalities run deep and affect all kinds of health outcomes, everything from cardiovascular disease and diabetes and now coronavirus.
The study also listed recommendations to ease the disparity, short-term solutions like better testing in minority communities or ensuring economic aid is getting where it's needed. Long-term, the study pushes federal job guarantees or a more supportive criminal justice system.
There's really nothing we can do but just bear the weight.
Conrad is desperate for any kind of help, knowing what's at risk if he or his kids become ill, and he's not alone.
This is just a horrible situation for everybody, man. Everybody I know is going through it.
At the Capitol, Forrest Saunders, WPTV News Channel 5.
And lastly, SpaceX is planning to launch a 12th batch of Starlink internet satellites from Kennedy Space Center this morning. The weather forecast is 80% go. According to a new study, the average NFL fan will watch nearly 18 hours of commercials this season compared to just 6 hours and 26 minutes of actual game action. According to sportsfacts.org, the average NFL fan watches 4.2 hours of football each week. Over a 17-week season, that's 71 hours and 24 minutes. That breaking down to nearly 18 hours of ads and 6.5 hours of action. News time is 7:29. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
$7:29 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
It's been a nice, clear morning out on the roadways, and it remains that way. We're not finding any accidents, our latest from FHP. There's your latest look at traffic. 79 degrees in Port St. Lucie, and here's our forecast from WPTV.
This morning along the Treasure Coast, temperatures starting off in the mid to upper 70s under partly cloudy skies and a few showers drifting in from off the ocean. Highs this afternoon reaching the low 90s. Feels like temperatures digits. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds and then a 20% chance for inland showers and storms. Tonight, lows in the upper 70s. Clear skies. Tomorrow, highs in the low 90s, partly sunny skies with low rain chances. We'll continue to see low rain chances through Saturday, and then a front stalls out across North Florida, helping to increase rain chances Sunday through Monday. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
7:33 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for our weekly visit with Joe Contrabone. He is from the Stuart Martin Chamber of Commerce. He heads up that whole entire office there. He runs the whole thing. Joe, good morning and welcome into the program. How you doing?
Good morning, guys. How are you?
We're good. We're good, Joe. How are things going over at the chamber?
Good, as well as it could be expected. You know, we're hanging on like everyone else, hoping that things get better and things improve. But in the meantime, we're moving along as well as possible, business as usual. We just got through. Well, actually, next Tuesday we've been working on our budget, obviously, for 2.5 months. Our budget is due to our board by September 16th. So we have a final reading or look at the budget with our finance committee next week, and we'll approve the following week, present to our board. So it's pretty difficult putting together a budget. Lose about 25% of your budget to special events, and we obviously plan no special events per se for the next fiscal year. You know, our biggest moneymakers, our gala, we've postponed. Our home and garden show, which is 2 days at the fairgrounds, we haven't planned that. We canceled it. So it's been quite difficult, and unfortunately, we've had to lay off a couple of people, but we're working our way through it, and I think that we're presenting a very conservative budget, and I think that we'll be able to meet the expectations that we're projecting. So we just elected a new board. The election was final on September 2nd. So we have 6 new board members coming on, and I have to. We do a new board member orientation, so we're planning that. Unfortunately, we made the decision this week to, rather than cancel, we're saying we're postponing our annual gala, which is one of our major fundraisers as well as one of our major events. So that has been postponed. We're hoping perhaps maybe early next year we'll be able to do it, but everything's up in the air, as you know, right now, so we really don't know. So usually in June, we graduate our leadership class. And of course, we had to cancel or postpone the last few months of our leadership class, and graduation would have occurred in June. And we usually have a dinner and a graduation ceremony with about 125 people out at Mariner Sands or somewhere. And we had to cancel that.
Okay.
Part of that graduation is the class comes up and receives their diploma or their certificate or their plaque, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And it's handed out by Tim Kinane, myself, and Cindy, our project coordinator. So anyway, that we're doing that in-house. We have them coming in groups in our conference room. So we're set up to take their picture and present them with their plaque right here in our conference room in groups of 6 or 10, whatever it is. So again, practicing the social distancing and doing our best to adhere to what the CDC and the county and everybody else lays forward for us. So it's busy. I mean, I jokingly I say we're not making any money, but we're busy as hell.
That home and garden show, Joe, isn't that usually held like in February or March?
March, right after the fair, yeah.
March. So do you anticipate that coming up in 2021? Like getting ready for that event?
You know, Bunny, we had a great deal of discussion about that, and the consensus is, and we really haven't made that decision yet, the consensus is like, it wouldn't be the same. You wouldn't. I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that. But people say, well, you know, when you don't do an event for a year, you can't bring it back. This is extraordinary circumstances, so I'm not sure that would be relevant in a 2021 show. But we have not made that decision yet.
Okay, I see. And are you going to have like a nice budget meeting then on September 16, getting that ready?
I hope it's going to be nice.
I'm considering maybe with the events that have to be postponed, maybe you're going to be like seeing a lot more savings in your budget, maybe for other things that would be needed.
We have cut back, sure, certainly we have. That's what we had to do. We have to cut back expenses when you can't, when you can't increase your revenue, and obviously, even if our membership development and membership renewals were going well, we've taken 25 or 30% of the budget away by not having events. So that's difficult to make up. So the only other alternative you have is to cut expenses, and that's obviously what we're doing. So, but again, I think it's a very conservative budget. For the first time ever, I am going to be presenting a negative budget. I've already explained and given some of our board members what was going on and what the bottom line was, and they all seem to understand. And my position was, look, we've never done a negative budget before. These are extraordinary times. We have reserves. The reserves are for a rainy day. Well, this is more than a rainy day. It's a monsoon.
That's an understatement.
Yeah. So I think the board understands, and I think when we go over the budget line, and we don't go over it line item by line item, but we go through the category by category, we'll see where we've made the cuts and we've done the best we can. And I've always felt I would much rather present a conservative budget and hopefully run ahead of budget every month instead of running behind every month and trying to play catch up. So this is an extremely conservative budget. In my heart of hearts, I think that will make the budget, but it is going to be presented as a negative budget. Again, we've got reserves. Thankfully, over the years, we've been able to accumulate reserves. And as I said, I don't mean to be redundant, but this is a kind of a thing where you have reserves for. So, so I think it's going to be okay. And our board is really doing a yeoman's job. They're doing so great with recommending new members and helping us retaining old members. And I think I may have mentioned to you, we introduced a program last month. Rather than ask our board members and our members to give us $1,000 or $750 or $500 contribution, we offered the advertising opportunities. We called it a recovery program, but we offered opportunities for them at 3 levels, starting $1,500 to second level is $1,000, and the third level I think was $500. And we offered advertising opportunities and email blast opportunities and free lunches and things of that nature, rather than just ask them to give us $1,000 and not get anything for it. We wanted to put a value to it. So that's done very well for us, and we continue to send it out to members and to talk to members about it. So that's kind of softened the blow a little bit for us.
Let me ask you a question, Joe. I ask you this every single week. Have any new businesses signed up in the last 7 days with you guys?
I'm glad you asked. Not as robust as the last couple of weeks, but
I like that robust word. Okay.
Well, it has been robust, and Amy's done a great job. I mean, this economy the way it is, I think she brought in 15 or 16 new members.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Okay.
So for the last week, we got the Keys Company, Christy Hansen. Of course, it's real estate,
right?
And then Domino's, and they've got 4 locations. So we got Domino's on Cove Road, on Indian Street, on Martin Downs Boulevard, and on Jensen Beach Boulevard. So all 4 of those Domino's are now members of our chamber.
Okay.
The Business Profit Coach is a home-based business in Jensen Beach, Diane Murray. She does business coaching and consulting and training. City Diners, the old Metro Diner on Federal Highway. They've remember, and they've come back in again. So they do comfort food, Greek dishes, egg skillets, stuffed French toast, pierogies. That's unusual. I like pierogies, but you don't see many restaurants offer them very often.
Okay.
And then Interstate Express on Pump City Road. They do courier service and deliveries. And then Surveillix is a private investigator, Bob Goldberg. He's a home-based business. So a good week, but as I said, not as robust as we've been having, but still, you know, to me, that's a light at the end of the tunnel, because there's people out there with a propensity towards wanting to spend money. They recognize that they've got to get their name out. They recognize that they've got to, you know, the networking is other than limited, although we do have, I may have mentioned that we have a breakfast next month, a live sit-down breakfast at the Hutchinson Island Marriott Beach Resort, and Sheriff Snyder is our guest speaker. So we've already, I think we can take 100, and I think we've already got over 50 reservations. We'll probably sell that out.
Okay.
So that's a good thing. We have a business after hours on the 16th at Carrabba's, you know, that outside area they've got out there. And then we've got a virtual networking breakfast on the 22nd. So we're trying to get, you know, we realize people want to network, and we're trying to get back into that mode. We've already got 3 breakfasts booked for October. We've already got 3 breakfasts booked for October, and we're working on a lunch and a business after hours. So we're trying to get back to some sense of normality. I do see a light at the end of the tunnel with, as I said, the new members coming in. Our renewals are not what expected, but better than I was predicting.
Okay.
So I think things hopefully are heading in the right direction.
Okay. All right. Very good. Just send some of the leftovers after breakfast to Bonnie and I.
Yeah. Well, they
here.
don't give us leftovers out there.
Joe, if people want to reach you in regards to getting their business in with the chamber, which I cannot say enough good things about the Stuart Martin Chamber of Commerce. If you have a business and you want to get exposure for your business, if you want to get notoriety, if you want to network, if you want promotion, anything that you can humanly possibly think of, the Stuart Martin Chamber of Commerce is where you need to be. And you need to talk to my good friend, Joe Cantrambone. He will take really super good care of you. Joe, give out the information so people can call you.
Evan, thank you so much for that editorial. I appreciate that.
And I don't get paid to say stuff like that.
No,
I don't. I speak from the heart, and that's true with any business that I talk about, or if I endorse somebody, I speak from the heart. I don't trade out for, you know, time or advertisement, or, you know, I don't ask to become a member and I'll, you know, tout your business, or, you know, that's called payola, and I don't believe in payola. You know, I will talk and I will endorse somebody if it's a business that I believe. So
I know, and I appreciate that. I truly do. Thank you.
No problem.
So if you want to speak to me or any of our staff can help you, 772-287-1088, and my extension is 108. Or you can go to our website, www.stuartmartinchamber.org. There's a myriad of information on there. You can even join online, but we would prefer to speak to you, obviously.
All right, very good. That's Joe Cantrambone. He heads up the Stuart Martin Chamber of Commerce. Joe, always a pleasure to have you on the program with us, and we will check in with you next week.
Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend. Stay safe.
Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye now. 747. Love those numbers. 747. It's news time. Let's go to the news desk. Bonnie is standing by this morning. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. Distance learning was not only a hot topic. In a meeting Wednesday, school board members also discussed how to finalize plans for the return of brick and mortar schools. WPTV's Todd Wilson with the story.
In the beginning, it was a little rocky.
School just started for Lysandra and Brandon Peaks' kids, and already they're dealing with distance learning issues.
Because Zoom had like a worldwide crash, so that was a little hard for the kids.
Lysandra says connections were so bad, students couldn't see their teachers. Emails were sent out to parents from the school's principal.
She let us know what was going on so that they wouldn't be counted out as absent.
Students weren't the only ones impacted. Ariel Alexis is a 5th grade teacher at Jerry Thomas Elementary.
The first day, kind of expected for not all the students to have logged on time and know exactly where to go. But it seems that as the days are going by, it's getting even more tough because a lot of students are having problems with their internet connection.
In my world, if there's a will, there's a way.
Distance learning is not the only hot topic. In a meeting Wednesday, school board members also discussed how to finalize plans for the return of brick and mortar schools.
I am the superintendent, and I ultimately bear the responsibility for all this. So I'm pulling the whole team together tomorrow. We're gonna get to the finish line.
One potential issue: just how many district employees may not be ready to return, along with the families who opt to remain in distance learning.
It could create a real problem for parents because their children have bonded and gotten to know a teacher, and all of a sudden they're going to get a stranger, their online teacher.
Back at the Peaks household, both agree they're dealing with a new normal.
It's very different, especially from the way we were brought up. I mean, of course, being at school and your clothes ready for the first day.
In Palm Beach County, Todd Wilson, WPTV News Channel 5.
Florida is launching a $13 million in-state tourism and campaign to revive the industry slammed by the coronavirus pandemic.
Our tourism industry has just been, to put it bluntly, decimated by this crisis. The good news is that there is no doubt that Florida remains the best place to vacation in the world.
Visit Florida President Dana Young in Daytona Beach announcing the campaign to get Floridians to visit Florida. And lastly, Governor Ron DeSantis is naming the outgoing Florida House Republican leader as the new director of the state's Department of Economic Opportunity. Dane Eagle will replace Ken Lawson, who resigned on Monday. DeSantis shelved Lawson earlier this year when the DEO was unable to handle the surge of unemployment claims due to the coronavirus pandemic. In the bubble, the Heat are up 2-0 on the top-seeded Bucks in their second-round playoff series. Won last night, 116-114, as Jimmy Butler sank 2 free throws after being fouled at the final buzzer, and also winning the Houston Rockets by a bucket over Oklahoma City Thunder. News Time 7:50, weather and traffic together are next.
$7:51 the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Not finding anything happening on the roads, and fortunately that's accident-wise. It's a smooth travel if you're heading out right now. Major highways, US 1 included. There's your latest look at traffic. And we're up to 80 in Palm City. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning along the Treasure Coast, temperatures starting off in the mid to upper 70s under partly cloudy skies and a few showers drifting in from off the ocean. Highs this afternoon reaching the low 90s. Feels like temperatures in the triple digits. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds and then a 20% chance for inland showers and storms. Tonight, lows in the upper 70s under mostly clear skies. Tomorrow, highs in the low 90s, partly sunny skies with low rain chances. We'll continue to see low rain chances through Saturday, and then a front stalls out across North Florida, helping to increase rain Sunday through Monday. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
7:57, and lo and behold, guess who shows up at the studios? Phil's here. Hi, Phil.
Good morning.
Phil, you found a box of donuts outside on the chair.
That is correct.
And there
I
was
guess
a note attached to the box of donuts.
this is right. This is correct. I come walking up and I see a box of donuts, a thing of coffee, and a thing of orange juice.
Okay.
And a little note saying that Bentley that said he could not come in because he did not have a mask. He wanted to do things correct.
Okay.
So I brought it in. No ants on it this time, like
Okay.
happened to me yesterday.
Okay.
And then there they are. You got 3 Boston cream there, it looks like, and 3 chocolate frosted.
Just don't mind me. I'm going to take a bite on the
Yeah,
air
man.
right now.
We're gonna do the Neil Rogers way here. Yeah.
Oh my God, this is so good.
This is so good.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Go ahead, Bonnie. Go. Come on.
Come on, buddy. Right on the air.
That's some good chocolate
That's
fudge
some good,
right there.
That's some good stuff, huh?
It's got the pudding, like vanilla pudding cream
yeah.
in it.
I bet the cast of Schitt's Creek doesn't have donuts like this.
Can I just say Schitt's Creek, please?
Yeah.
All right,
there
thank you. That's a great. Actually, I've seen that show. It's great. Chris Elliott from David Letterman's on there.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's funny on
This
that.
is so good.
What's the premise of it?
It's like
Can
you
I
bite
ask?
into it and
It's like a
cream is oozing out.
backwoods town.
Y'all carry your
And
conversation.
It's
I'm
like a
gonna
little
eat.
backwoods, well, like we do normally with you. Anyways, it's like a backwoods town,
stuff.
and everybody's just cuckoo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's kind of like
I'm getting my
you
orange
take the Andy Griffith Show and
Uh-huh.
just go a little bit more extreme with it.
Like a Stephen King and people
Oh,
like in the
man.
Yeah,
backwoods
just
and
regular
everybody
stuff,
kind of
yeah.
weird and unordinary.
He's over there rambling on about the donut.
Oh man.
And the coffee
Good
is
stuff.
this coffee is like I've never tasted. Phil,
Mm.
really appreciating.
Yeah.
Don't usually use cream and sugar in my coffee,
Well,
but this
think
is
Bentley. Bentley's the
I'm
one that
gonna
got
have
it
to
for
double
you.
dip and have
Wonderful.
2 of these bad boys.
Oh, Bentley. Bentley, if you're listening, thank you. And Phil, thank you for not running off with the goods. You could have just said bye, Evan and
Well, I just
Bonnie.
happened to
And
be down the street, so I said I'll come and say hi to my friends, and then
Yeah.
that's it. You know,
Friends, you have friends.
I have friends. And what's funny is I used to work at this Publix right down the street here
oh, you did.
when I worked for Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
yeah, I used
So
to go.
good.
That's the Publix right by Harper's Pub, right?
Yes,
Is also
yeah.
in that plaza.
Right, y'all stifle yourselves for a minute.
What?
We're WSTU Stewart. We're Martin County's heritage
Hold on.
station. We'll be back in just a few moments. The news is coming up next. I'm going to indulge in another Boston cream donut. We'll be back.
Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world. It's the Get Up and Go Show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
That's right. We are officially all sugared up.
I know that's right.
That's right. I've got so much sugar in me, I'm going to burst like a bubble.
I heard that.
That's right, but I won't say. That's right. I will never say. Welcome in, Phil. Thanks for being here.
Hello.
All I got to say is wow. Wowza. I am like sugared up. Bonnie, I don't know about you.
I forgot how good donuts tasted. I haven't had one in a while.
They were good, yes.
We destroyed that box.
There was a half a dozen donuts. The Boston creams are all gone.
Yeah, I had 2 of them.
Yeah.
And I weigh about 50 pounds heavier.
Probably during the next break, I'll have the chocolate frosting.
Did you have the Boston cream, Bonnie?
I did. I was craving it all morning since we spoke to Bentley about it.
And the donuts, too.
Yeah. Oh, man. God, those are so good.
This is weird being in here again. I haven't been in. Well, I was here a couple weeks ago, but for like 5 seconds. But usually I'm in my in the game room, where I do Phil's notebook, and then.
Pardon me, but I'm licking my chops as we speak.
You got a little cream there on your goatee there.
Man, that's some good stuff.
You need to wipe that off.
Decadence.
Yeah, that's more than decadence. That's going to be flavor saver. Leftovers.
Flavor saver.
I'll have steak tonight, and I'll still be tasting the
got
Boston
half a
cream.
donut in his beard.
That's gross.
What?
What?
That's
Half a
not
donut.
gross.
It is gross.
Half a donut in his beard.
Oh. No, she thought it's gross when I go to eat my steak tonight, and I'll be tasting the donut from this morning.
Yeah, 10
It's
hours.
still stuck in my mustache.
9 or 10 hours later.
I'm not going to wash my face for days. That thing was that damn good.
Hey, by the way, driving over here, I saw the mobile rub on the side of the road there.
Did you really?
Yes, I did over Canner Highway.
You're
Yeah.
kidding me.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, Fredo's out in force.
Right there in a field. Like
Wow.
you said. So I guess he's waiting. So
What does he have, like a big genie bottle on the front of it
No,
painted
just
like you
it's
would
like a
rub a
bottle.
genie
It kind of
bottle?
looks like Evan's DJ trailer.
Oh, it
It kind of
does.
looks like that. And then it was blue.
Oh,
It was
okay.
blue and it had a foot on the side.
It's got a foot.
It has a
Okay.
foot.
Does it say Fredo's foot rub?
Yeah. And I
Okay.
heard that on the radio and I said, no. And then there it was. And I was like, oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do some stupid news.
And now it's time for Stupid News,
It's so stupid and awesome.
where we ask the important questions.
Are some people too stupid to live?
Why are people so stupid?
Are you effing stupid?
Bonnie, I'm going to say this first story is not for the weak at heart. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So you might want to cover your ears for this one.
Did you bring in some earplugs, Phil?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
An Ohio woman bought a package of what she thought was smoked turkey tails at a supermarket, but thought she got the shaft when she noticed a decidedly phallic-shaped piece of meat in her beans. She said, quote, "I'm calling Save-A-Lot. This ain't right." The Akron resident named Lamia Singfield said, "I know what this is," she added, referring to a male member. "It's got the folds." Upon further investigation, there was a hole in the tip of it. When she checked her store receipt, this is a true story. When she checked her store receipt, it indicated she had bought turkey tails, but a photo of the label said it was actually smoked pork tails. But still fearing that she was cooking male genitalia, the worried woman called the police about the mystery meat. The police came.
Mystery meat.
The police came and they examined it, and it is in fact a man's penis.
Oh, well, maybe from Lorena Bobbitt or something.
They called the medical examiner out and the coroner because somebody is missing their junk. Well, the grocery store has got some explaining to do, she said. No further news available as of right now.
She better lock her doors because somebody might still be looking for their junk and come knocking.
This is a true story. I kid you. This is a true story.
I'm wondering where it went.
Yeah, this is a true story, Bonnie.
You better go out and find it. And maybe if she's lucky enough, she could savor it and sell it back to him.
Savor it,
right?
Save it.
So or something. I read this to my wife at the house the other night.
Yeah.
And she goes, "You're going to mentally scar Bonnie when you read this story."
Yeah, right.
She's going to be scarred for life.
It's I guess the Bobbitt Ginsu took care of that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, just amazing stories. Even when Bobbitt, when they lost his, it was like they found it. I'm not kidding.
In the field.
They found it right outside of like a hot dog joint. I think that was true.
You roast them, we toast them.
Yeah. Weird Al did a song about that. About that whole thing. It was a parody of a song, and it was that once there was this guy who, and it was hilarious. And they did the video, and the guy the guy's looking for it like under the pillow and under the dresser and stuff like that. It's a great video.
Oh yeah, and the surgeon who reattached it.
Yes.
He should become really well known because according to what I watched on a show, the results were successful.
Yeah.
And
he did an adult
You're
movie.
an expert.
Did you know he did an adult movie?
He did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't aware of
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I didn't realize the story would bring this much attention. Jeez. All right. Onward. A restaurant in Chicago called PB&J, which stands for Pizza, Beer, and Jukebox,
Oh, cool.
decided to live up to its name by adding a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to the menu. And it's the most expensive one in the world. It'll cost you $350.
What?
Yeah, $350. You ask what costs so much, why it costs so much? Well, the bread has edible gold baked right into it. Uses an expensive all-natural peanut butter honey imported from New Zealand.
Wow.
And a red currant jam from France that's, quote, hand-seeded using goose quills.
Goose quills in a
Goose
jam?
quills in a jam. Goose quills. I have no idea what that is.
My throat's getting scratchy.
The restaurant also sells a regular PB&J made on Wonder Bread, which with regular peanut butter and grape jelly for $5.
Just give me a regular. Give me a regular,
here's
please.
the thing: Goldschlager, one of the greatest liqueurs of all time, has gold flakes in it, and they don't cost that much.
Yeah, but is it real gold?
Yes, it is.
It is.
It is real gold. Trust me. Oh, I've inspected Goldschlager many times.
Yeah, you're a connoisseur for Goldschlager.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Might mean on the region where they're getting that gold from. Certain regions, I think, where the gold or the minerals are harder to get and conceive.
Maybe.
Therefore, maybe the price can shoot up. I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't know there was real gold in Goldschlager either.
You ever done a shot of
hills.
You ever done a shot of Goldschlager, Bonnie?
If it's been years and years.
It is the Spanish fly of liquor, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done shots of tequila, but I've never swallowed the worm.
We should get Bonnie to do shots of tequila on the air.
Oh,
See
that
what
would be
happens by the end of the show.
hilarious.
I would pay to see that.
With what you brought in, Phil, this morning, I feel like I've done shots of tequila and more. This coffee and the donuts are getting us mighty high.
Yeah, right. Yeah, man.
We're just
All right.
like Ozzy flying high again.
Okay. That sounds good. Pretty interesting.
What are you doing over there?
I'm trying to find our feed. There it is right
There
there.
you go.
See? There
Hi.
it is right there. Okay. So there's the feed right there.
There we are.
There's
Hi.
There's another feed.
Oh,
So
that's beautiful.
yeah, that's another feed.
Get a shot of
Anyway,
Bill there.
on Monday afternoon, a 42-year-old guy named Derek Lacombe crashed through the front of a psychic business in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He was arrested for drunk driving and reckless operation. Fortunately, no one was hurt in the crash because the psychic was not in the front of her shop at the time. She was in the back cooking chili, and she says she told her grandson earlier that day that she had a very strange feeling. Now, the force of the crash wound up splattering the chili all over her. But still, that's a better outcome than if she'd have been in the front of the store, which she wasn't. Many feel because of the strange feeling she had, that's why she was in the back of the store.
I guess her psychic powers didn't work too well.
That's why she's a psychic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to Vacaville, California, where there's a guy named Chad Little. And last week, one of the wildfires in California was spreading toward the house that he lives in. His neighbors were fleeing, but he decided to stay behind and try to keep the fire from getting to his home and a shop that's attached. He was using his hose to fight the fires, but his water suddenly got turned off. He knew if he could he knew that if he could get some wood to stop burning, that could probably keep his home safe until the fire department arrived. So you know what he does? He grabs a 30-pack of Bud Light and starts dumping it onto the wood. Quote, I was just shaking it up and popping the tops and spraying it everywhere. His buddies all tease him about drinking water beer, and they say he saved the shop. The fire department got there after he used the Bud Light on the wood and took care of the rest of the fires around the house.
That's like Natty Ice, I guess.
Natty Ice.
Yeah.
But don't knock it. If it's a good flavorful seltzer, it's really not bad.
Oh, you drink the seltzer.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the beer.
Like the strawberry and peach Natty Ice.
What is Natty Ice?
Natural ice. It's
See,
a
I
beer.
don't drink.
It's actually a high alcohol content beer.
Is
but
it?
Yeah, but it's also cheap too. So
like as an inexpensive cheap?
Yes.
Yeah, it's more inexpensive than most.
When I had my liquor store, I used to have a guy come in and get the real tall, like 16-ounce cans of that. And I'm talking about several times in a day. He would get one of those out of the cooler and just knock one down like every probably about 3 or 4 times in a day.
Really?
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. I bet he was very thirsty.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You'll be surprised what folks do with that. I'm talking about they get those little minis. They do that so they can conceal it.
Oh.
And they like the Fireball or something like that. And they'll do a shot of it.
Yeah.
And then they could they throw the bottle away, and it's only about yay big.
I'm sure like when you're behind the counter of all that, you see it all.
Oh, I could tell you stories, Bonnie. Oh,
I'm sure you could, but we don't have till next year.
Oh, I love
tell
you
stories.
too. Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. We don't have all that time. But on a serious note, that I want to touch on before we get to news.
Yeah.
Because you talked about it briefly. The baseball world lost a great yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Tom Seaver.
Yes.
Was such a great baseball pitcher. They called him Tom Terrific. He died yesterday. He was 75 years old. His road to the Hall of Fame started with becoming Rookie of the Year in '67. 2 years later, his pitching led the New York Miracle Mets to their first World Championship, which I was at in 1969. He's 6th all-time in strikeouts with 3,640. Here he is at his Hall of Fame induction in 1992. Let's listen.
Where can you possibly start to say the words that will express what has taken place in a man's life over a 20-year period and beyond? For me, it's the beautiful flower and the perfect bouquet. Anyone would think that a young kid from Fresno, California would ever end up in Cooperstown, New York. You say, how in the world can it happen? And it can happen very easily when you have the kinds of friends, the kinds of people, the kinds of support, the kinds of education, and most importantly, the kinds of family that I've had in my 47 years of living.
Now, he also leaves a winning legacy as being the 18th all-time most winning pitcher in baseball history. Here he is winning his milestone 300th game.
As Don Baylor will step in to pinch hit, and there is former President Richard Nixon on his feet in the Yankee owner's box.
Seaver is ready to work now to Don Baylor. And it's a high fly ball. It should be playable. The ball game is over. Seaver has won 300. He has become the 17th man in the history of baseball to win 300 games. A 40-year-old Tom Terrific, Tom Seaver.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. I saw him in 1969 and
Wow.
68 back at Shea Stadium.
You saw him in his
So,
prime then.
I saw him in his prime. Jerry
amazing.
Grody was the catcher. Ron Swoboda played right field. Don Clendenin was on first. Buddy Harrelson was the shortstop. Ed Charles was at third. Tommy Agee was in left field. Gil Hodges was the manager. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah, I was saying you have that just picturesque right there.
Well, when you're a diehard Mets fan and you were brought up around baseball, that's definitely what you remember.
Right on.
Yeah, without a doubt. Anyway, rest in peace, Tom. Terrific, without a doubt. News time, 8:22. Let's go to the news desk. Bonnie's standing by. Morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. A frequently traveled roadway on the Treasure Coast's biggest community is set to undergo a major expansion beginning at the end of the month. WPTV's Derek Lowe has the story.
Along Floresta Drive in Port St. Lucie, drivers aren't just heading home.
Just walk over whenever.
Many commuters are headed to evening activities with their families.
I'm watching my son. We're playing a little soccer. Oh, yeah.
Ryan Birch is just one of the growing number of drivers who travel along the two-lane road set to undergo a major expansion starting at the end of the month.
As of right now, I think it's just going to be a little more congested with the construction going on, but definitely in the long run with all the development going on off Becker, it'll make it a little bit better.
Right now, I'm standing at the roundabout at the entrance of Southbound Lake. City officials say that the expansion of Floresta Drive will stretch into St. Lucie West to Prima Vista Boulevard. At Wednesday night's open house meeting, renderings showed 2 added lanes, sidewalks, and bicycle paths. The goal is to keep the neighborhood intact while making it easier to get around. Officials say the project is being funded with revenue from a half-cent tax increase approved 2 years ago.
It's much quicker and a lot less traffic. I'm the type of guy that doesn't mind paying taxes as long as I see results.
It's a change residents say they will welcome.
Yeah, definitely make it safer.
Once finished.
Everything that's happening out here out west, it needs to expand.
In Port St. Lucie, Derek Lowe, WPTV, News Channel 5.
For the first time since the start of the classes in Martin County, a school nurse is describing what it is like amidst the coronavirus pandemic. WPTV's Treasure Coast reporter Megan Rick Roberts has details.
Just more than 3 weeks into the school year in Martin County.
This is my 23rd school year.
School nurse Jennifer Bracken says she and fellow RN assistants who are in every school are learning this year is all about being flexible.
As a nurse, we're kind of ready to be around people that are sick and contagious, but even for us working in public health, we're not usually, wearing masks and in, personal protective equipment either. So it's a change for all of us.
The Martin County School District has quarantined 425 students since the start of the school year. 84 are still waiting out their 14-day quarantine. Do you feel safe going to work?
Absolutely.
Despite the numbers, Bracken says the number of students she and other nurses see daily really hasn't changed much.
Our students more so are coming with the symptoms they always came with, headache, stomach ache, nausea, maybe, vomiting. Some of those things are due to anxiety and stress, but this year we have to look at them differently.
She's seeing on average 2 to 3 students each day with possible symptoms.
Some kids, have, a lot of fear about it at first because it can be scary to look at someone standing in front of you in the full blue PPE with their gloves and their mask and their shield. And so every day we learn something new. And so we learn, how to best approach them.
Her biggest message remains one directed to parents to continue monitoring their children's symptoms before sending them to school.
Even though in the past you might have been stricter and made them suffer through it.
Megan McRoberts, WPTV, News Channel 5.
A cyber attack leaves students and teachers in County locked out of their online classrooms for a third day in a row. Superintendent Alberto Carvalho said Secret Service and Miami-Dade police are investigating.
Yesterday's attacks, we know some of them came from outside of the country. We know some these attacks came from local entities.
Carvalho says the attacks have not penetrated the system, but they have been successful in preventing access to the resources teachers and students need. And some baseball scores Major League from yesterday. The Rockies over San Francisco Giants 9-6. The New York Mets beat the Baltimore Orioles 9-4. It was the Reds over the St. Louis Cardinals 4-3 yesterday. The Marlins losing to the Blue Jays 2-1. Tampa Bay Rays topped the New York Yankees 5-2. And it was the Phillies over the Nationals 3-0. Also winning yesterday were Milwaukee. The Atlanta Braves win over the Red Sox, and the Cubs winning too. News time is 8:26. Weather and traffic together are next.
$8:28 the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Traveling our roadways through Palm City and Stewart through the Port St. Lucie area, we're not finding any kind of slowdowns or tie-ups, and no accidents to report for now. There's your latest look at traffic. We're up to 79 degrees in Port St. Lucie. It's a partly cloudy sky. And here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning along the Treasure Coast, temperatures starting off in the mid to upper 70s under partly cloudy skies and a few showers drifting in from off the ocean. Highs this afternoon reaching the low 90s. Feels like temperatures in the triple digits. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds and then a 20% chance for inland showers and storms. Tonight, lows in the upper 70s under mostly clear skies. Tomorrow, highs in the low 90s, partly sunny skies with low rain chances. We'll continue chances through Saturday, and then a front stalls out across North Florida, helping to increase rain chances Sunday through Monday. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
Time now is 8:32. Time to head out to outer space in another place where Randy Siegel is standing by. I'm sure he's glued to the television because from what I understand, there's going to be a rocket launch here in literally a matter of minutes, right?
Yes, sir. That is true.
All right.
Yep, SpaceX is getting ready to launch at just about 8:46, possibly 45, from the Kennedy Space Center. At that point, they will launch a Falcon 9 rocket carrying 60 Starlink satellites into orbit, along with a couple CubeSats. It will, in fact, be the heaviest launch that SpaceX has accomplished with their Falcon 9 rocket. So everything right now stands in the ready, and it appears that that launch is moving ahead. We're waiting now for SpaceX to come up on the link and say that we're ready to fly. So far, they haven't done that. Now, that could mean there's a slight delay in the launch, but we're going to have to wait and see how that pans out. But typically, SpaceX nails it right when they need to, unless, of course, they find a problem with their rocket. The hope is that they will not have this problem at all, and they will be able to launch on time. SpaceX has been very successful in their launches this year, and they're hoping that they'll be able to recover the first stage of the vehicle on their drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, which will be stationed out in the Atlantic. They also are trying to recover the payload fairings from that vehicle, whereby you'll notice at the top of the rocket covering the satellites to get them through the Earth's atmosphere are two clamshells that form the payload of the rocket. These clamshells, once the rocket is clear of aerodynamic pressure and starts going into orbit, separate. And if SpaceX is able to recover those vehicles, then they will save additional money, which, as you know, everybody wants to do, is save some money. And we're going to have to see whether or not that'll be successful. They have caught payload fairings with two ships out in the Atlantic Ocean, Miss Schiff and Miss C. And they're hoping that this will be the case as well. If they don't catch them, then they're picked up by those vehicles in the ocean, and they're still brought back to be refurbished, although the cost is higher once the salt air has intruded into that vehicle. So far, SpaceX says they're ready to fly. The exact timing, we're going to have to wait and see. They are just coming up on the net right now. Yesterday, however, at 9:51 p.m., the European Space Agency launched two satellites, actually 53 satellites, two larger satellites for the European Space Agency. A meteorological satellite was there, as well as additional satellites that were launched from this launch vehicle. The Vega rocket has been a mainstay of the small launch vehicle program for some time. Astronauts on board the International Space Station continue to do good work while they're up there. Chris Cassidy, the commander, he wrapped up science rack swaps that began on Monday. He finished moving and reinstalling 3 advanced science facilities known as express racks in 3 different lab modules. The rack exchange will support future experiments being delivered on an upcoming Cygnus resupply ship mission from Northrop Grumman. Cassidy then collected water samples from the potable water dispenser for analysis on Earth and on the station. The veteran astronaut also inspected the U.S. module's hatches and replaced pipes in the orbiting laboratory's restroom, known as a waste and hygiene compartment. Anatoly Ivanushin strapped himself in to an exercise bicycle and spent 2 hours exercising to help his cardio activity in space. Ivan Wagner assisted Ivanushin in attaching the sensors to his body and monitoring the activity during the hour-long test. The Russian duo then checked battery temperatures and connections before studying how international space crews interact with mission control around the world. Ivanushin went on to set up advanced Earth observation gear while Wagner worked on power system diagnostics. We now stand 8 minutes and 26 seconds before the launch will take place. Russia is also saying that they are gearing up for having astronauts from other countries or astronauts who have not flown in space and are ordinary citizens paying to have them fly. They say that they're working on preparations to have space tourists fly in their capsules and go to the International Space Station for up to 30 days. This would allow them to get a lot of money if, in fact, this reaches fruition. The first launch that could possibly take place would not be until sometime towards the end of next year. So if you have just a few dollars, somewhere between 20 and 50 million, you could have a 10-day flight to the International Space Station. Yesterday was also a big day for NASA and Northrop Grumman as they successfully tested a solid rocket booster at Promontory, Utah. The solid rocket booster is the same type of booster that they will be using when they fly the Artemis spacecraft to the moon, and further, it would be part of the first stage that would be launched. What's interesting to note is that Blue Origin has abandoned the production of one of its launch vehicles because they have found that there's no case for them to do so. They would in fact end up losing money should they continue to pursue it. We are now at T-minus 6 minutes and 30 seconds before launch. So take a look out your window. You should see it this morning. So until then, have a great day, everybody.
Thank you very much, Randy. That's Randy Siegel. He does our daily dose of space in another place right here on the Get Up and Go show each and every weekday morning at 8:30. Time to head on over to Ellie's Downtown Deli, where Bonnie is standing by. And you know, Bonnie, yesterday I was talking about some of their succulent, delectably delicious foods and different things they had, and I didn't realize that how mouth-watering their food truly is. Now, I've only eaten there once, but I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I might have to go there later today.
I'm going to go there for lunch.
All
You
right.
should try it. They have the freshest ingredients and fresh jumbo wraps there too.
What's on the slate for today you want to talk about?
The bacon, chicken, and ranch wrap.
Oh, it's so good.
And like these wraps are pretty huge, you know, almost, do you remember like that little Nerf football you used to toss around?
Yeah.
They're just maybe almost, if not, I mean, they're fresh jumbo wraps.
Nice. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
And you can get a roasted chicken ranch one with the bacon inside, crispy bacon, the lettuce, tomato, and onion, and cheddar cheese in your choice of wraps like the spinach, tomato, basil, the garlic herb, and all wraps come with a delicious side item. Try Mark's Chef's Pasta Salad. Maybe some coleslaw. That always is yummy with a wrap. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stuart now has their patio back open. Plus, they're at 50% dining inside with a full menu for pickup or delivery. Ellie's also has full dinners available for takeout, plus their fabulous desserts as well. Call 772-781-6605 to order and pick up today. They're at 18 Southeast 6th Street off Colorado in Stuart. Call 772-781-6605. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stuart.
Oh, it's so good. Time
Yes.
for the Precious Metals Report. It's all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Gold is opening up at $1,934.70 an ounce, and silver opening up at $27.10 an ounce. That's the Precious Metals Report, and it's all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. 8:42 news time once again. Let's go to the news desk. Bonnie standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Thanks once again, Evan. Distance learning was not only a hot topic in a meeting Wednesday. School board members also discussed how to finalize plans for the return of brick and mortar schools. WPTV's Todd Wilson with the story.
In the beginning, it was a little rocky.
School just started for Lysandra and Brandon Peaks' kids, and already they're dealing with distance learning issues.
Because Zoom had like a worldwide crash, so that was a little hard for the kids.
Lysandra says students couldn't see their teachers. Emails were sent out to parents from the school's principal.
She let us know what was going on so that they wouldn't be counted out as absent.
Students weren't the only ones impacted. Ariel Alexis is a 5th grade teacher at Jerry Thomas Elementary.
The first day, kind of expected for not all the students to have logged on time and know exactly where to go. But it seems that as the days are going more tough because a lot of students are having problems with their internet connection.
In my world, if there's a will, there's a way.
Distance learning is not the only hot topic. In a meeting Wednesday, school board members also discussed how to finalize plans for the return of brick and mortar schools.
I am the superintendent, and I ultimately bear the responsibility for all this. So I'm pulling the whole team together tomorrow. We're gonna get to the finish line.
One potential issue: just how many district employees may not be ready to return, along with the families who opt to remain in distance learning.
It could create a real problem for parents because their children have bonded and gotten to know a teacher, and all of a sudden they're going to get a stranger being their online teacher.
Back at the Peaks household, both agree they're dealing with a new normal.
It's very different, especially from the way we were brought up. I mean, of course, being at school and getting your clothes ready for the first day.
In Palm Beach County, Todd Wilson, WPTV News Channel 5.
As the coronavirus pandemic continues, Florida is launching an in-state ad campaign to revive the devastated tourism industry. Governor Ron DeSantis was in Daytona Beach for the announcement with officials of Visit Florida.
We've got a lot of folks out there that have been hurting. We've got a lot of people kind of had their livelihoods taken away when our tourism industry collapsed at the end of March. And so I'm excited to be here. I think this is well thought out.
$13 million will be spent between now and December on broadcast, streaming, social media, and billboards to encourage Floridians to visit parts of the state they haven't been to before. Lastly, according to multiple reports, Amtrak is planning to furlough nearly 2,000 workers beginning August 1st. According to USA Today, the railroad company sent a letter to employees on Tuesday detailing that 950 union workers and 100 management positions would be furloughed. According to a new study, the average NFL fan will watch nearly 18 hours of commercials this season compared to just 6 hours and 26 minutes of actual game time. According to sportsfacts.org, the average NFL fan watches 4.2 hours football each week. Over a 17-week season, that's 71 hours, 24 minutes, breaking down to nearly 18 hours of ads and 6.5 hours of action. News time is 8:46. Weather and traffic together are next.
8:47, the time right now, the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
It's still a quiet ride this Thursday morning. No accidents for US 1. Major highways clear. There's your latest look at traffic. It's 81 in Port St. Lucie, and here's more on our forecast at WPTV.
This morning along the Treasure Coast, temperatures starting off in the mid to upper 70s under partly cloudy skies and a few drifting in from off the ocean. Highs this afternoon reaching the low 90s. Feels like temperatures in the triple digits. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds and then a 20% chance for inland showers and storms. Tonight, lows in the upper 70s under mostly clear skies. Tomorrow, highs in the low 90s, partly sunny skies with low rain chances. We'll continue to see low rain chances through Saturday, and then a front stalls out across North Florida, helping to increase rain chances Sunday through Monday. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
Meet the Mets. Meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets.
If you're a diehard Mets fan, as I am, and of course an employee being the PA announcer, you will remember the 69 World Series champion New York Mets. And of course, last minute notice, I reached out to a good friend of mine, Ron Swoboda, who played right field for the New York Mets, made that fantastic catch that everybody knows about. It was the catch heard round the world, and he's joining us on our line right now. And I wanted to have a conversation with Ron about the unfortunate passing of number 41, Terrific Tom Seaver. First off, Ron, thank you so much for joining me on short notice. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm glad to help out. I'm sorry about the circumstances, I think is the way it goes.
Yeah, the Mets they lost a good one. We definitely lost. We lost a terrific one, as people referred to him
I think
as, right?
a lot of people did. You know, he left a big wake. He's, all of the cliches. He stood rather tall in everything he did. And you knew that from day one when Tom Seaver joined the ball club in 1967. you didn't know what he was going to be as a pitcher, but the minute he walked out there, I don't ever recall there being anything but Hall of Fame stuff from day one. He was the full package, attitude, confidence, command. He had it all, and he was a power pitcher from day one, and really was the same pitcher that he was, 10 years later.
Yeah.
When his ERA was still under 3, and he hadn't missed too many starts. That's the kind of player he was. It was greatness. When you played behind him, you witnessed greatness on a daily basis.
He was so poised when he took that mound. He commanded respect from every batter that got up there. Batters feared him, didn't they?
Look, you knew you were going to face outstanding stuff, and you knew that your chances for success diminished when he was out there. And if you played behind him, you didn't need to make too many great catches. I made the greatest catch of my life with Tom Seaver pitching in Game 4 of the 1969 World Series, and it's a label on me that I carry around with joy. But when he was out there, the ball wasn't in play as difficult as it was with other people. You weren't chasing it all over the yard. That's what Tom Seaver did. He quieted it down. He kept games under control.
He was all business. He was a business guy. Man, when he got on that pitching rubber, he was all business, and that's what it was all about. Gil Hodges liked that about him.
We all want to be great. We all want to go out there and do it right every time. But do you have the combination of physicality and mentality to be able to execute it day after day after day? I couldn't do it as a hitter. He could do it as a pitcher.
And, that's another big thing, Ron, is that people don't understand. It's not just getting up on the pitcher's mound and throwing a ball 98 miles an hour. There's a mentality that goes with that as well. Yeah. And you have to know the game mentally to be able to do what he did.
Yeah, I think great players have an awareness that us more average types cannot. We have it once in a while. They have it almost all the time. And when you think about it, Seaver went out there and he came to join a pretty mediocre franchise in '67. We couldn't give him a lot of support, but he didn't need a lot of support. You get him 3 runs, you got a chance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, without a doubt. And man, every time he got on that mound, you knew that when he was getting up there and the ball was his for that game, you pretty much knew you were coming out on top.
Well, look, I'm not wearing a World Series ring without playing on a team with Tom Seaver, and you could put Jerry Koosman, our number 2 starter.
Yep, I remember Koos.
In that same category, those 2 guys, that 1-2 punch meant you weren't going to lose too many games in a row. That's for sure.
No, not at all, not at all. Ron, if you had one memory to go back on and just one to reflect on with Tom Seaver, what would it be?
That game in '69, late in the season against the Cubs, when Tom had the almost perfect game.
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense to me that Tom was not able to at least pitch a no-hitter.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a perfect game, but for the Mets. He never had a no-hitter for the Mets. He didn't have one till later on in his career. But I just remember that day watching Seaver work and how he was in another level. And he started out in pretty good shape. His game was at another level that day, and it was no stuff from the get-go until late in the game. Tom Seaver was on the mound, and before he threw his first pitch, and they were 10 deep, standing room only.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big Cubs series. That was the team we had to beat, and they were still leading us in the National League East, and Seaver took the ball and just sort of rubbing the ball down, just turned around and looked around at everybody in the stands at Shea Stadium, did a little radial around, did a spin. And I just thought, wow, that's amazing, man, to have that presence of mind to take it all in the way he did. And of course, he lost it on a clean base hit by Jimmy Qualls, who had a couple of pretty good rips at him early on. They had just brought him up from the minor leagues, and he was a decent fastball hitter, and he lofted one out there to left center, and it was all over. And Seaver said that was the worst he ever felt, on or off the ball diamond. Now you think about that.
Yeah, definitely. So he
wanted it. He wanted perfection. That was what he was out there for.
My very special guest is Ron Swoboda. He is part of that 69 World Series championship team that took it all. And I was there when it happened, sitting with my dad next to the Mets dugout. And it was great. It was memories I will never, ever forget. Ron, thank you so much for coming on the air on short notice and joining me. I really appreciate it. My sincerest thoughts and prayers to you, the Mets family, and the Seaver family as well.
Yeah, we're thinking about his family out there. They have a lot on their plate right now, and it's something with everything else going on, they'll have to get through. But you're welcome.
I appreciate it, Ron. God bless you, and hopefully I'll see you at Mets Fantasy Camp this year.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot, Ron, for joining us. I appreciate it. Wow, what a great interview.
It sounds like Mr. Such a wonderful pitcher that if you're catching in the outfield or you're a line baseman, you could kind of fall asleep or read a book for a while.
Yeah, pretty much. He commanded respect.
Yeah, man.
That's a wrap for a Thursday right here on the Get Up and Go show. Phil, thanks for coming by and hanging out. Appreciate it.
No problem.
And, of course, we say chow mein.
Honduras.
And Arriva Dirty. Be kind to one another.
And maybe get some fresh air and exercise after you eat some donuts
That's
today.
It. More donuts. We're WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. We'll see everybody back here for the Friday edition and 5-second rule. Stewart Police Department tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.